Shabbat Shalom. This week's parsha is Vayishlach, and in it we know that Yaakov is leaving Lavan's house. He's going back to the land of Israel. He sends his family and his possessions ahead, and then he turns around in the middle of the night and he ends up struggling with an angel. And they struggle until the dawn, and the angel says, "Let me go, because the dawn is rising." And Yaakov says, "I won't let you go until you bless me." And the angel says, "Lo Yaakov yamer od shemcha." Yaakov won't be your name anymore. Kim Yisrael. It'll be Yisrael. Why? Because you have struggled with God and with human beings, and you have been victorious. The question is, what's going on here? This doesn't seem like a bracha. He asks for a bracha, and what he gets in exchange is a name change. There are 4 people in Tanakh whose names are changed: Avraham, Sarah, Yaakov, and Yoshua. What is it about a name change? Names are extremely significant in Judaism. Adam names all the animals to see which of them would be a good mate for him. Names on some level define us, or names are a reflection of who we really are. The Gemara in Bracha says that Avraham's name is changed from Avram to Avraham because at first he was Av le'Aram, he was a father to Aram, that was the place where he lived, Aram Naraim, and later he becomes Avraham, Av Hamon Gayim, a father to many nations. Sarah, the Gemara says, goes from Sarai to Sarah because at first she is a princess among her people, and now she becomes a ruler, a princess in the whole world. In other words, what the Gemara is telling us is that the nature of a name change is a bracha because it helps us see ourselves in a different way. It helps us see ourselves in an expanded way. We go from doing what we're doing, not to doing something completely different, but to doing something larger. Avraham is a father. He's a guide. He's someone who starts something. At first he did it on a smaller level, then he does it on a bigger level. How is this true of Yaakov in his name change? I think it's true because if you think about Yaakov is Akev, the heel. He's holding on to the heel of his brother Esav. It's Ki Yakveni Zeh Pamayim, Esav says. He's fooled me twice. Yakveni is Yaakov. Yaakov is the person who struggles with Esav, with Lavan. He's the person who doesn't get to be who he is, who he wants to be. He wanted to be the simple person who dwells in tents, but he ends up being the one who struggles with people in the world. And so the name change to Yisrael is just an expansion of that. No longer is he just struggling with human beings. Now he struggles with God, as it were. He struggles with the much bigger things. He struggles with things in this world and in the next world. He struggles with everything in the world. The Jewish people are called Bnei Yisrael, the children of Israel. How are we, in what sense is our expanded bracha that of struggling? If you think about it, Jews have made a tremendous difference in the world. And it wasn't through, maybe we wanted to be left alone. We've wanted to be the simple person who dwells in tents studying, but we've become the people who've struggled in every aspect of the world trying to create a better world, whether it was, revolutions created either by Freud or Marx or others, the people behind revolutions, the people behind tremendous changes, even Milton Friedman, the people behind new big ideas, whatever realm it's in, that has been often the Jewish people, because we are Yisrael. That sense of struggling from Yaakov, that sense of not being satisfied with what is, with not being able to be quiet, with having to make change in the world to make it a better place, that is the expansion from Yaakov to Yisrael, and it's who we are. And so in this sense, I think the name change for Yaakov is highly significant. It really is indeed a bracha, because it helps him to see himself in an expanded way. It helps him to become who he is, but on a much bigger level. And that is perhaps what a bracha really is. It's interesting that in halacha, names are so important. The Shulchan Aruch says, "Yizar shelo lachanot shem ra lechavero." You have to be very careful not to make a bad nickname for your friend, even though it's something that people call them. If the kavanah, if the intent is to embarrass them, something negative, it's forbidden. The Rambam goes even further. The Rambam says there are 24 people who have no share in the world to come. One of them is hamachan Hashem lechavero, kori lechavero b'kinoi. Calling your friend the wrong name, I assume based on the Shulchan Aruch it means in a negative way, it is not just a sin. It's you have no share in the world to come. That is really shocking. And so we should all merit to find our own personal names and not to be satisfied with that. Just like our ancestors were not, to take those and expand them and to say, how can I expand my mission in the world in a holy way? How can I take my talents that God has given me, who I am, and find new ways to utilize it. Shabbat Shalom.